Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Deonna. I am a social media manager, social media strategist, content creator, so many different things. I'm a wife, I'm a stepmom, I have so many different titles. But yeah, I'm here. So previously, if you don't know, I did have a podcast called The Blooming Woman. This is kind of stemming off of that, but I feel like God is just telling me to just get in front of the camera and talk. So I'm not labeling it as the podcast. I'm not labeling it as anything. This is literally just me pouring out into you guys, and we're just gonna see where it takes me. The podcast, that's why I said it's kind of complicated. It's a little complicated. The podcast, it's pretty much like what I'm doing now. Was not video, so this is my first time on the YouTube, as the old folks would say, on the YouTube. And yeah, I'm just here doing what God is telling me to do, which is a very big step up from what I used to do, because God would tell me to do something, I'd be like, yeah, right plan, wrong man, because I'm not doing it. But I think I'm in a season of my life now where it's just more so of like, okay girl, like just move whenever God tells you to move. Do what God's telling you to do, because you just have to, you have to trust him. And that's pretty much what this video is talking about, if you see by the title, about trusting God in the unknown. We're just gonna dive straight into it. So I feel like this season of my life, it's a lot of trusting in God during the unknown, because there are a lot of changes happening in my life. I would say even just starting from like last year. I'm putting my business out there. Which is, I'm very open about things too. So sorry, not sorry. But 2 years ago, I got laid off from my job. And when I got laid off, I'm like, okay, bet. Like, I knew it was time, or like the time was coming close for me to kind of step into full-time entrepreneurship. But I just was a little scared because it's something I had never done. So I was like, do you really want to do this? Like, are you sure you're prepared? And I knew that my time at that job was ending soon, because like you just know, like you just have a feeling. And so when it happened, I was like, okay, cool, like this is my time. I started to try to get a little bit of free clients here and there, and it was cool, but it's like something was missing. Like it wasn't clicking for me. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to go on this aspect and do content creation. So that's what I started to do. I started doing like creating content for events and stuff and people, and that kind of took off. Like I started to, get invited to different events, getting booked and stuff like that. Like everything was working out. And then something crazy happened. I want to say it was the end of July. Somebody sent me a post about a job posting for a social media manager. And I'm like, okay. I went to the person's page and they have like 100, like almost 200,000 followers. And I'm like, there's no way on God's green earth that I was going to get picked for a position to work with this person. Lo and behold, went through the whole process, and I woke up to an email one day saying your onboarding process. I was like, wait, did I just land this? And so over the course of these past couple of months, I've been working with like some really big business owners, like 6, 7, and 8 figure business owners. And I was just able to gain and learn so much. However, that time is ending. I'm literally filming this the day before my last day with that agency. And we're stepping back into a season of the unknown, because it's like, all right, I've had like that consistent income over the past couple of months, and now that that's coming to an end, what does that look like? And so right now it's like a really big trusting season for me. Mind you, I'm a wife, we have a house, like we have dogs, it's more than just me depending on where my money is coming from. And knowing that that season is ending and like now I have to step fully back into like what it is that I was doing previously, it's a little scary. I'll be completely honest. It is a lot of scary, but I feel like I can like my trust in God has gone up from a year ago. Because last year, God is, first of all, God is always faithful. God is a promise keeper. God is going to show up in the ways that he has promised he's going to show up, and we're never going to have to need or want for anything. And that was the reminder that I received last summer. Because there was a period of like, okay, I was getting, unemployment from the folks because obviously I got laid off from my job. So, I was still having money coming in. And so that ended. And then like I had the clients, but it's like it wasn't equal to what I was getting with that. So it's like, okay, boom, we had to shift some things around. When I tell you, there was not a day we did not eat. There was not a month a bill didn't go unpaid. That like car notes is paid, and like everything is paid. And in that moment, I was reminded that God really does show up for us how we know that he's going to show up for us. God is going to provide for us in the ways that we can't even imagine. And I remember I had to tell a friend one time too that God providing for us is not always a monetary thing. It can sometimes be him like even allowing the like, I don't know, your phone bill, like even just allowing you to be able to push that back so that you don't go without until you're able to pay that. Like, to me, that's still God providing. Even having food, like it may not be the food that we want to eat, but we're going to have food inside this house. Like, that's still God providing. And so that changed my whole perspective of just everything. And so going back into a new, sorry, someone was calling me. So going back into a season of like not having that consistent income, because baby, let me tell you, as an entrepreneur, where are my entrepreneur girlies at? Because I know when you don't have the money all the time, or you don't know like when your next client is gonna pay, like you can send an invoice on a Friday, you think they're gonna pay on a Friday, baby, they might not pay until next Wednesday, okay? And you got plans for the weekend and you waiting for that money. It's a lot. So going back into that season, I feel like I am a bit more comfortable, but it's still like but at the same time, I do feel like I'm more equipped, more prepared going into the season of entrepreneurship than I was previously. Like, I know what I'm capable of. I know what I can do. I know that I can charge the prices that I need to charge because I have that experience. And God would not have placed me within that agency if I was not prepared, if I was not ready, if I was not, like if that's not what I was supposed to be doing, or if I wasn't, supposed to be learning in that experience. I always look at everything as it being like a stepping stone. Like every chapter to your book, like it's a stepping stone to where God is fully calling you. And I feel like that season, that chapter was really just a stepping stone for me to go out back into the world and do what I need to do. And so this season of trusting is going to look different. I'm scared, but I'm not as fearful as I would have been previously. Even before I got noticed that my time with the agency would be ending, a previous client had already come back and we were already in talks of getting stuff set up. So it's like God is saying like, yeah, I'm taking you away from that, but I'm allowing you to still do what you love, still build what you want to build, like still build what you were building previously, but just with more expertise. Because I'll be honest with you, if I didn't work with that agency, I don't think I would feel as confident about my skills as I do now, honestly. So it's just crazy. Life is just crazy, like how things work for real. I'm excited. I'm truly excited. And I feel like God is really just like rebranding my whole life. Like, is God rebranding your life too? Because let's have a rebrand party. But like, no, like, I feel like God is changing so many things about me, like even outside of business, just like the way how I am approaching him, or like the way how I am building my relationship with him. Like, it's totally different from previously. Not previously, but like previous years and stuff. And like even a conversation with my cousin, like she said that she can feel like there's an awakening that's happening within me. And yeah, it truly is. Like, even like I feel like I'm more sensitive, and like I'm able to understand things a bit differently now than I did previously. I'm able to hear God more clearly than previously. Like, it's just so, like, I sometimes don't even recognize who I am. Like, if y'all only knew. If y'all only knew, I'll probably share some of that stuff later. But like, if y'all only knew, for real. But yeah, I just know God told me to come talk to y'all. So we're gonna be besties. We're gonna be buddies. But yeah, I just feel like with trusting God, you have to be able to have a deeper understanding of who God is and how he shows up in your life. This morning I read the Bible. Yes, thank you, Holy Spirit, Jesus. Okay, so this morning I was reading a Bible plan, and it came out of Genesis. I want to say Genesis 5. Yeah, Genesis 5. And mind you, everybody's read Genesis like plenty of times. If you haven't read a book in the Bible, you've read Genesis. And so chapter 5 was about Adam's lineage and how, he bore a son, and then his children bore children. Like, it's just the whole lineage. And the thing that stuck out to me the most, like, you know how when you're reading a Bible plan, like, they'll have the scriptures and then you have like a kind of devotional. This one doesn't necessarily have that. It just kind of says like, hey, pray, reflected, everything, and it'll just have maybe like one question. And the one question that was there was just basically saying like, what does the image, like, something about the beyond. And when I saw the word beyond, like, so much began to pour into me, because going back to that reading, the thing that stuck out to me the most was like the people's ages. Like, y'all know the people in the Bible, they used to live a long time. I believe it was, I think Adam lived till he was like 830 years old. Listen, me personally, I'm cool. I am cool off living that long. God, let me see 101 and I'm cool. 830 years? Crazy. That is what do you do for that long? Like, you see what? I'm so confused. But back to the what I'm trying to say. But it stuck out to me about how old they were and the beyond. Them living that age is beyond crazy, but it's beyond like our wildest imaginations. Like, sometimes we read stuff in the Bible and we're like, there's no way that it happened. There's no way that happened. But it did happen. They did live to be that old. And so if we put that into our days, to like our lives today, we think about how God was able to allow them to live that long, and it's beyond our, like, our wildest dream, like beyond our imagination. But in today's time, like, God working miracles and God doing things in our lives, God is doing things that's beyond what we could ever imagine. God is opening doors that's beyond what we could have done ourselves. He's doing so much that's beyond what we're capable of doing. God is able to do so much. Like I said just earlier about like me even getting a chance to work for that agency, I never would have thought in a million years that I would be able to work with that agency and work with some of the clients that we worked with. Like, it blows my mind. But then reading that this morning, I'm like, it shouldn't blow my mind, because God is a man who does beyond. He's going to do miracles. He's going to show up in ways that's beyond our capabilities. And I just have to remember that going into this season of my life where I know I have to trust God a bit deeper, that if it's in God's will, it can happen. We have to put in the work, absolutely. But just knowing that this is the same God that allowed for people for generations and generations to live for hundreds and hundreds of years. That's the same God that we serve today. So if he was able to do it then, what's the difference in him being able to do it now? I just spoke to myself, because I was out here kind of like mentally crashing out, because it's like, girl, what are we doing? What's happening? I literally have no reason to be scared. Like, I'm putting in the work. I have the leads. I'm setting everything up. I have like everything that God is telling me to do, I've started to do. Does it make sense to me half the time? No, it does not. It doesn't make any sense to me majority of the time. But if God is telling me to do that certain thing, I'm going to do it. The hesitation part, last year we was at a 10 with the hesitation. I'm gonna say now we at like a 4. Like, I'm gonna still be a little like, you show. I'm working on it though. I'm not taking pride in that. I'm working on that, because I know God, I need to get to a point in my life where it's like God is telling me to move. I need to, if God tells me to jump, I need to just say how high, versus him saying jump and I'm like, where you want me to jump at? Like, how do you want me to jump? Are you sure you want me to jump? Do you want me to jump now, or do you want me to jump late? Like, whenever God says something, like, be clear that that's his voice and that's what he's telling me to do. And I think that kind of goes with me, like, ensuring that I'm spending that time with God, so that I'm able to gain that trust, gain that knowledge, gain that security, to know that I can trust in God, and I'm able to hear his voice more clearly. And so my time with God, like, I'm getting back to being super, super, super intentional about it, because I literally can't do nothing without God. Business is spiritual. With that's going to be a conversation for another day. But business is 100% spiritual. Like, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's going to be our next video, about business being spiritual. Like, you have to have a deeper understanding of God in order to understand where he's taking you and your business. Without that, babes, I'm sorry. I don't know what you're going to do. You're going to keep, not in a harsh way, but like, you're going to keep falling, because it's not what you're trying to do without God being in your business. Is you trying to do stuff on your own accord or on your own will, when we know that God's will is better than our own will. So if you try to keep doing businesses and stuff from your own will, it's not going to succeed, because it was never meant for you to do. Okay? I need you to hear me loud and clear, coming from somebody who's tried that on her own. If God did not tell you to do that, if God is not telling you to start that business or do X, Y, and Z, don't do it. Don't do it. You literally have to just trust that God has something better for you guys. God's plans is always better than ours. So, yeah. Trust in God. Yeah. So, I will see y'all on the next video. I didn't even give you no type of introduction. I mean, I did give a little introduction. I don't know. Y'all just see my personality kind of throughout. I've had people tell me for years that I needed to be making videos and on YouTube, because I have a very animated personality. This is my first video, so I'm a little nervous, but maybe the next one y'all can see a little bit more. I'm also just a teensy bit tired, but I know I'd get this video out before I like not do it, because yeah. So yeah, be sure to subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram at the Deonna Renee, same as my my name, my username. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. I think I am going to take on that conversation of business being spiritual. So I will see you guys on the next video, and yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night or whatever time you're listening to this. Bye.